Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Radia Mallard, and I am bringing your companion here at BorahWisdom, bringing you the Word of God, where we are. Our focus is to bring the name of God, have His name proclaimed throughout the earth, and our focus this year is to um, get our fellow believers to fear not. The Bible says 365 times in the word, fear not, be not afraid, things of that nature. Basically, don't be afraid, right? And so each passage in the Bible that addresses fear, we are going to talk about those today. And I'm going to give you a little bit of context behind the relationship that Yahweh God has with his people and what is going on at the time. I encourage you always to read for yourself. My goal is not to tell you what your relationship with Yah would look like, but I am here to tell you what he says, what he tolerates, what he does not tolerate, what he expects of you as a believer, whether you're a believer now, if you've been a Christian for years, or whether you are exploring that, like you've heard of the goodness of God and you want to know what that looks like for you. This channel is for you. So today our reading comes from Exodus 20 and 20. And this is the time when Yahweh God, the children of Israel have been rescued, and Yahweh God is giving them the 10 commandments. So other than the parting of the Red Sea, which is what we talked about yesterday, another really prominent thing in the Bible that a great majority of people do know or have heard of, I believe, is the 10 commandments. One thing that I wanted to share with you all that was revealed to me about commandments. Now, I've come across people who have had issues with commandments because they're like, God is mean, he's bossy, I don't want to serve a God like that. I want to live my best life. That song, Living My Best Life, by the way, y'all, if you are singing that song and that was your jam or whatever, you do realize like you're coming into agreement with poverty and drug dealing and stealing from people and all that stuff, right? So when you're singing, excuse me, my nose is itchy. When you sing that song, Living My Best Life, the first part of it, you got Snoop Dogg talking about himself or whatever, right? And this is something that was, revealed to me this week. I haven't thought about that song in years, but he wants me to share with you all that you're coming into agreement with poverty in that song because he's talking about getting the food stamps. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people on food stamps, but what I am saying is you're coming into agreement with staying in that state, and God has so much more planned for you than to just be living off of government provision. And when I was doing single parent ministry, I realized that government provisions is really meant to keep women from getting married, to keep families from, from fathers being in the household, because the women that I helped that were single, they could not come off of public assistance if they got married. Also, if they got a job, it was immediately snatched from them. There was no grace period in between, which led them to be in a place where they had to be deceitful in order for them to move up to the next level. If they wanted more for themselves and they were on the system, they had to do things under the table. They had to, not report stuff or whatever and risk getting caught and having all their money like taken from them. So anyway, I know why I'm talking about this right now, but that being said, let's go back to Bible study. So the 10 commandments have been given. God is not mean. He is not trying to keep us from enjoying life. And the more you read the Bible, the more you realize just how much Yahweh God just loves to spend time with his people. He loves for us to celebrate. He wants to bless us. And he wants to protect us just like a father would. And so in the 10 commandments and stuff he gives, it's like this. When you are at an ocean, if any of you guys have been to the ocean before, and you see these buoys outside, right, that just kind of tell you, these little floating things that tell you, hey, you're getting ready to go into deep water and you may be harmed or killed from that. That is what these commandments do. So Exodus 20 gives the brief of the commandments, like the one-liner of the commandments. When you move into Leviticus, it gives more definition, more information on how you're to follow these things that will keep you in line for these commandments. And it also gives the consequences for not following these commandments. And so I'm just going to read over the 10 commandments again, because I know that when I've gone into churches and things like that, it's on 2 tablets. You got the one-liner of each one, and actually one of them was removed. And as I read them, I believe it will come to mind. It was a very, very, very important commandment that has been removed. I want to say, I don't know if I can find one. I'm going to see if I can look one up, like what the 10 commandments on display looks like. But anyway, first commandment, I am Yahweh thy God. This is again Exodus chapter 20 and 2. I am Yahweh thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahweh, thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. Did you hear that? If you're not following his commandments, you hate him. And that this is also reiterated when Jesus says, if you love, God said, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. So that is in the New Testament as well. So if you don't keep his commandments, then that means you don't love him. So you have to know what the commandments are, because that is an expression of your love to God when you follow those. Number 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. This is something he proclaimed to Moses in when he first introduced himself to Moses, and Moses asked, could I see your face, Lord? And he said, no, but you can basically watch me walk by. And he proclaims his name over and over again. And I believe I mentioned that in the day 2 of our studies. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. So not only should you know his name, but you should not take his name in vain. Number 2, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy God. In it shall you not do any work, you nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your maidservant, so on and so forth, right? And the reason why is because in 6 days, Yahweh made the heaven and the earth. This is in Genesis, the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. So this is in the 1st chapter of Genesis, 1st and 2nd chapter. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, meaning he made it holy. Number 3, honor thy father and thy mother. Why? that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy God giveth thee. So you do that so you can live long in the land. Number 4, thou shalt not kill. Number 5, thou shalt not commit adultery. Not just adultery with your spouse, but adultery unto God too, because he considers when you worship other gods, it is considered adultery to God. And this is all throughout the Bible. Number 6, thou shalt not steal. Number 7, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Don't lie on your neighbor. I did a short on that the other day, but that was part of the teaching too about lying, the lying spirit. That is breaking of a commandment when you tell a lie. Do you love and reverence God if you're lying on people? You might want to ask yourself this question, because these are his commandments and they were reiterated by Jesus. So again, it's the Old Testament. People say, the Old Testament does not apply. You have to know this Old Testament because Jesus refers to the Old Testament. So did the Apostle Paul. So did Peter. All the disciples. They lived off of this. This was their life. This is how they worshiped their God, which is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is through the these laws, right? That's number 7. Oh, did I miss something? Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Okay. So number 1 was you shall have no other gods before him. Number 2 is you shall not make unto thee any graven image or likeness. Number 3, you don't bow yourself down to them. Or number 3, you don't take the Lord of the name of Yahweh in vain. Number 4 is to keep the Sabbath holy, because on 6 days he labored and did all his work and he created the earth and the sea and all that's in them, which is all the creatures of the earth. Number 5 is to honor your father and mother. Number 6 is you shall not kill. Number 7, not to commit adultery. Number 8, you don't steal. Number 9, you don't bear false witness. And number 10, you shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. One of the biggest issues that we have today is that folks is looking at what somebody else got and they're coveting. They are coveting what somebody else has. Facebook, social media is like the worst for covetousness, because, and the interesting thing is, people can give you a snapshot of what their life is like, and you think they just living so good, so much better than you, like you're comparing your life to their life. I'm not saying everybody, so if it doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply. But generally speaking, the reason why God tells us these things, the reason why Yahweh God gave us these 10 commandments is because these are things that we all struggle with on a daily basis. So this is him giving us the boundary lines. This is him making us aware that, hey, listen, I know you struggle with these things, and I'm telling you, don't do these things. Don't do these things, because they are going to ultimately be your downfall. Covetousness is what I like to call keeping up with the Joneses syndrome. Like you looking at what somebody else have and you like, oh, I gotta have that car. Oh, I gotta have that purse. Oh, I gotta have that hairdo. Oh, I gotta have, that house. People are extending themselves beyond their means and stuff because they are coveting. So this is why Yahweh God says, don't covet. Don't covet. All right. And so after all of this, the people saw the thunderings and lightning. So when Yahweh God was giving these commandments, the whole earth was shaking. It was like lightning came down, thunderings came down. There was fire. There was smoke. Everything was shaking, and this is him giving the commandments, and the people were like, we can't take this. We can't take this, Moses. We need you to talk to us. Now, Moses was used to his communications with Yahweh God. I mean, he was not afraid, but that was because he lived an upright life too. So he did not fear his life when he was in the presence of Yahweh God. And so I said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die. That's what's going on inside of here. They were unrepentant. They had all kinds of things going on, right? And Moses said unto the people, fear not. So this is Exodus 20 and 20. Fear not, for God is come to prove you. Prove is to test and instill a deep reverence and awe in you. So this is why he approached them like that. And that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. So when he came before them in that manner, he wanted to instill a reverence and an awe in them. I'm shocked because, I think I would just be awed by the fact that he parted the Red Sea. I'd be awed by the fact that he not just part of the Red Sea, but that he was a pillar of fire that led them by night, and he was a cloud over them by day. The fact that he sent manna for them to eat. Anything that they asked for, God provided. All they had to do was just open their mouth and ask, right? So today, fear not is that God is going to prove, he's come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces. So we don't really see God like that, but he's still the same God. He can still shake the earth. He will shake the earth, as a matter of fact. And we should have a healthy fear and reverence for him, because he created us. The breath that we breathe and in every second, God breathed into man and made him a living soul. So this breath ain't ours. We can only hold it for so long, but it's not ours to keep. So for me, just the fact that at any given moment, Yahweh God can say, okay, your time is up. You're gone. I'm like, wow, when I die, what kind of state do I want to be in? Do I want to be in a state where God is like, get away from me? I never knew you, you worker of iniquity. Or do I want him to say, well done, good and faithful servant, enter into your rest? So that concludes the Bible study for today. Fear not. And this is Moses talking to the people. God is come to prove you, that his fear may be before your faces. Now, I'm going to read that in the, what is this version? I'm going to read that in the Message Bible. Moses spoke to the people, don't be afraid. God has come to test you and instill a deep reverent awe within you so that you won't sin. And the people kept their distance while Moses approached the thick cloud where God was. So the Message Bible is a good Bible for, if you don't really like the these and the thous and stuff like that. But I also will caution you that sometimes when there's a translation, things do get skipped. So it's always good to have some, just kind of do a split screen if you can and look between the versions and stuff. Study to show yourself approved. And what I was going to say. Yeah, study to show yourself approved, pretty much. So this is the conclusion of today's 365 days of Fear Not. Please share this information out. I am still trying to figure out the electronics. Like, I'm still trying to figure out, even though I'm streaming this across Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, I can't see anyone's comments or likes as I'm talking. And yeah, I can't see anyone's comments. So I'm still trying to figure all of this stuff out. So just, again, bear with me. I thank those of you that are joining me live. I would encourage you to please look at the other previous days. I am creating a playlist that is just 365 days of Fear Not. Again, I am on here every day at 6:45 p.m. I welcome dialogue. I am a human being. This word is continuously, like, not only is it sharp as a two-edged sword, but it is alive, right? So every time I read it, I learn something new. The words are the same, but as my walk grows with God and my understanding increases, I see more of things that I maybe didn't see before. So for people that say they read the Bible one time and they got it, I don't think so. So God bless you and keep you. And so what I say at the end, this is called the Aaronic. Aaron had blessed the children of Israel. So every time they parted, right, he would speak over them. And so, God bless and keep you. I like to speak over people as well, as Numbers chapter 6 and 24. And this is called the Aaronic blessing. That's Numbers chapter 6 and 24. Numbers chapter 6 and 24. And it reads, Yahweh bless thee, Yahweh God bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face to shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. So I'm reading Numbers chapter 6, 24 through 26 at the end of every Bible study. I pray that today's study gave you some more insight into the Word of God, increased your faith, not to fear, that God is with you, and that sometimes God shows himself in such a mighty way. It's to prove you, it is to cause you, it is to test you and to instill a deep reverence and awe in you. So anytime he brings you through something, worship him. The times when you thought there was no way and he made a way, worship him. Give him thanks. Yahweh bless you and keep you. Make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. Lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. God bless you until tomorrow. Rest well.